Hey, welcome back everybody. Today, well, first off, we've got all the materials to build these two rifles.
Yep.
So, we've got the stocks. Thank you so much for MDT. We decided to go with the MDT buttstock on this. We're going to get into a review on this as well, along with the stock. We've got some mags here. We've got bipods. We've got muzzle brakes. We've got it all. We just have to put this together.
Which we are going to do.
We are. We're going to do that right now. We're going to start right now, tonight. We're going to start doing this right now. So, I just went over some safety stuff on the lathe with Cody. He's never run the lathe before, so I'm gonna hold the camera and keep one hand free in case I gotta grab him away from it. But he'll do fine. So. First thing we're going to do is we're going to indicate the barrel. We're going to get it down as close to 1/10,000th of an inch as we possibly can. And then we're going to shear the muzzle end off. We're going to start at 27 inches. We're going to work that back a little bit once we start crowning and different things. So we're going to shear this off at 27 and, well, let's just get to it.
I'm fairly excited.
Whoa!
The camera's still rolling.
I know. Alright, so we've installed our rod here. This is a 1/10,000th gauge. We are dead on. So,
oops.
Yep, bumped it. It's okay, we're dead on. Okay, so Cody sheared the barrel off.
Yep.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just cut our crown in the barrel just a little bit, just to remove the burrs in the barrel. Then we're going to put our indicating rod back in it and make sure it is absolutely centered before we start cutting the tenon for the muzzle brake. So let's get back on the lathe and do that. Okay, so what we did is we're getting ready to thread this now, so we're cutting our tenon. We just took a brief pass here. We're coming in 1/2 inch, and we're going to thread this. This will be 5/8 of an inch by 24 TPI. So what we've done is we got to run this tenon down to 0.623, and then we'll thread that to 24 threads per inch. So this is just a roughing pass to make sure that all our measurements are correct, and everything's dialed in nice. So let's cut that down. We're cutting the tenon down for the brake, but we got to take some measurements. So Cody here is going to use the dial calipers just as a rough in, just to keep an eye on the kind of the bigger numbers. Certainly not going to use it for final measurement. We'll get the dial calipers or the the micrometers for that. So Cody, let's take a measurement here real quick. Okay, where are we at? About 885 or so? 887?
891, about.
891, and we got to go down to what?
623?
623 it is. Alright, we got a ways to go.
Yeah, he's going to say.
Okay, so now all we're doing is taking a measurement here, a more precise measurement. Looks like we've got about 30 thousandths more to go. Yeah, so we got the tenon cut down. It's 1/2 inch deep, and the outside diameter is what's the number?
625. No, 623.
623. So we hit it dead on the money at 623. So now we're going to cut our relief at the shoulder, and we did clean up the shoulder just a little bit too. So we're going to cut that relief at the shoulder, and that'll give us our tooling something to fade off into. That's well, you'll see here in a second. So let's cut that relief real quick, and then we're going to start threading this to 24 TPI. You ready for this?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. You got your thread relief cut.
Yep.
Yep.
Which I'm relieved about.
Yep. Yep. It's all about taking your time. Little time, you know, a half a thou, just take your time. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Once you understand it, of course.
Well, yeah.
So now we're going to lay out some dicum, which is a die. So that we're going to take a pass with our threading tool. What's the threading pitch on this?
C6.
What's the pitch? What's the number?
Oh, 24.
24, okay. So he has determined that C6 on the lathe is going to get us 24. Let's see if he's right.
So we find 6, we find C, then we go over to 24.
Yep.
And we go up, and then 6.
6. Right on the money. So now you're going to have to make the adjustments here to get C and 6. Okay, so we're going to lay some dicum on here. So we laid the dicum out, and all we're going to do is take a scratch pass. So we're not actually cutting a thread, we're just scratching into the dicum in there so that we can see if our threads per inch is correct before we actually make a cut. That way if there's an error, something set up wrong, whatever's going on, we have a chance to correct that before it's too late.
Yeah.
So, not far away, we'll be getting this on there. Alright, let's take a scratch pass.
Alright.
This is our 24 threads per inch, and it looks like we are spot on. So now we can start taking some deeper cuts and getting this threading done. Okay, so we've got the threads on here. We polished the 11-degree crown we've got on here. We also made sure that we trued up that shoulder just to make sure. And nice tight fit. Locks up solid on that. Now all we have to do is contour the brake down to the outside diameter of the barrel itself. So there we have it. That part is done. So I guess we might as well just, I'm going to put some anti-seize on this here. It's always a good idea. Put this back on, and then we're going to contour this brake down to match the outside diameter of that barrel. Okay, so we finished machining this down to the contour of the barrel, and you can tell it's down to the contour because there's the gap. So that's what we're after, is for this thing here to just vanish, just like that. Good to go. Got the barrel threaded for the muzzle brake. We've got the muzzle brake installed. Got that contoured to the barrel.
Yep. We got a relief done. What a relief.
What a relief. Yeah. So the next thing we're going to do is flip that barrel around, cut the tenon for the Savage threading, and then chamber it. After that, we got some work on the action to do. We got some paint to clean up, things like that.
Yep.
And we're going to put everything together. So I guess we'll flip the barrel around and get that re-indicated, and we'll go from there. Oh, actually, so the next thing we have to do is on these shrewd muzzle brakes, you have to open up the end because they all come in a 22 caliber. So since we're shooting 6.5, we need to open that, well, it's 264.264. We've got to open that up 20 thousandths beyond that. So that's the next step. And then, I already said the rest.
Yeah.
I've got the barrel flipped around, re-indicated. Now we have to cut the tenon on the chambering side and thread it, of course. And then we're going to chamber it. And once we're done with that, barrel's done. So, well, let's go cut that tenon.
Yep.
All right.
You recording?
Well, you're live.
Jesus.
So it's not all about giving the answers away.
Oh gosh, you're recording.
Yeah. He's got to figure out what the thread pitch is, the TPI, on a Savage barrel.
I already think I know what it is. I just need to find it. I think it's 15.
You think so?
I think so.
I think you're wrong. Then prove it to yourself what it is.
Well, that's what I'm doing.
I know. Everything fit nice and tight inside there?
Yep.
Let me just double check it for you. It fits nice, doesn't it?
Yeah.
20 TPI. You are correct.
Man, that was like 2 minutes.
We edited some time out while he went through all of these gauges. That's okay though, because it's a learning thing, right? It is. It's all learning.
So.
We all learn.
It's like kid learning torture.
Wasn't that bad. All right. We got a couple more cuts here on the tenon. We're inching it down. We're really close, so just letting the barrel cool down. So that's one really important thing, is to let the barrel cool down a little bit between cuts. Anytime you take a cut, the barrel heats up, the tool heats up, you start having more and more deflection. Anytime you heat something up, obviously it expands. And so we let things cool down, and then take another pass or two, let it cool down, take another pass or two. It's not a race. It's not a race.
It's always a race.
It's not a race.
It's always a race.
So once this cools down, we'll take a couple more passes, and once we hit 1.060, which is the tenon diameter we're after, we'll start threading it. So see you in a minute. Okay, so we've got the barrel and everything pretty much done. We've got it threaded. We've got, the muzzle brake done. Everything's ready to go. Now we have to chamber it. This here is a Bald Eagle floater, and what this does is it just floats. So this has the opportunity to just follow that bore into the rifles as it's cutting the chamber itself. So this is made by PTG, and they have interchangeable bushings here on the tip that they spin real nice. And these come in lots of different sizes for the same caliber. They get these things just precision ground, so you find the one that fits with just a little bit of resistance, but just snug, not tight. You don't want to get this thing too tight. You still want to be able to, run it in and pull it out with your hand. So, anyways, well, we're almost done. We're so close. So let's get back on the lathe over here, and we'll start the process. So let's get to it. We're going to oil up the reamer here. This is a finish reamer. I don't typically use rough reamers, but get a little good heavy-duty cutting oil on there. Insert that into the barrel. Bottomed out there. We're going to move our tailstock up until where it just barely bumps into the Eagle reamer holder. Lock the handle down. Make sure she's running free. Okay. And then we're going to hold that reamer with our thumb. On with the lathe there. And we're going to dial on the back side here. Keep an eye on our numbers. Go about 20 thousandths per plunge on this. Back our tailstock up. And we're going to rotate and pull the reamer out carefully, not to score the inside of the chamber. Pulling straight back. There we go. Alright, let's clean it up.